Starting and scaling a coaching business, or any business for that matter, is not easy, especially during the holiday season when everybody is so in their own little world that they're not really focusing on giving to you or giving to others. It can be hard to acquire customers and deliver value to a mass amount of people. For the length of time that I've been in this niche, in the niche of digital marketing, especially with coaches and consultants, I've seen people come and I've seen people go. I've seen people build $50,000, $60,000 a month businesses and then immediately drop out of the industry because they didn't build longevity and scalability into their business. I've also seen lots of coaches who struggled for 6 months, a year, 2 years to even get their first couple of clients because they spent so much time on the back end building things that they weren't able to acquire clients on the front end. And I'm here to tell you that's not your fault. And that I don't want you to be someone that builds a business that falls away within months. I've spent time over a year, 2 years, maybe even, building businesses and developing the skills in order to grow and scale a coaching business. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do exactly today. This is my video on building a coaching empire based on my skills, based on doing it 2, 3, 4 times. Yes, I could have more experience, but honestly, I have so many things at my fingertips that I just have to share with you, and I would feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't. So let's get right into the video. Instead of giving you some fancy edited video that just gives you enough fluff to get you on a call, I'm going to actually be solving all of your problems in this video today. And no, it's not going to be edited all fancy. No, I don't have a fancy built out lucid chart for you. I have what's up here and what's worked, and that's what I'm going to show you in this today. So part 1 for making a coaching empire, we're going to be going over the 3 columns, I guess, that I implement within my customers' businesses. And if you're asking, no, I'm not pulling this all out of my butt. I have actually used these processes and gotten incredible results from them. So part 1, when it comes to building a coaching empire, the first thing that we do with our clients, which we've done over and over and over, is their UVP and trends. Now, what's a UVP? A UVP is your unique value proposition. It's what you bring to the market, all right? The reason this is so important, and this is the first step in anything that we do, is because there are so many coaches out there in literally any niche, and we have to make sure that what you're doing is actually going to be something that people buy, all right? And you have to have some way to differentiate yourself within the market. Trends, when we talk about trends, that kind of plays into your messaging as well. We need to make sure that what you're delivering is something people want, all right? The big idea here is making people want you. All right. Right now, for most of you, if you don't have any clients, at least people don't want you, or they don't want your services. If they just want your services, then it means you're commoditized, which is basically a fancy word for saying they don't care about you. They just care about their results, which isn't what you want as a coach. As a coach, you are delivering yourself and the services that you're providing. So you want to make sure that people want you. That's a big deal. Now, when it comes to actually, making sure you're in demand and assessing the market, the first thing that we'll talk about is product market fit. I don't want to write it all out. And basically making sure what you're providing fits into the market. You can do this with competitive research, looking at other people that are in the industry that have succeeded, taking what they've done and putting your own twist on it. That's an easy way to make sure that what you're delivering fits into the market. As long as there is competition, that there are buyers that are ready to buy, right? So if you're in an industry where there's a lot of competition and you're worried, don't be upset. There's competition there for a reason. So basically, make sure that whatever you're delivering fits into the market. And then your unique value proposition, we really go into this with your offer, all right, with most of the people that we work with, making sure that what you're offering is something no one else does. Now, technically, I like to say that you are the niche. You are the person that they're buying, right? So do you really need to offer something completely different than everyone else? not necessarily, but you have to have your own spin on it. If you have 10,000 fitness coaches that are all offering weekly calls and programming and nutrition programming, and the only thing differentiating them is the actual person, then your brand and your credibility is going to play a huge part in whether or not you sell. All right. And usually if you're starting and you don't have a bunch of followers, or if you don't have a bunch of people that are already interested in working with you, then you don't have that brand, you don't have that credibility in order to get people to buy yet. So take, for example, Alex Eubank, Chris Bumstead, whatever, big guys, hundreds of thousands of followers, probably actually millions of followers. And then brand new fitness coaches that are just starting out. They may have equal physiques, equal services. And if this person does not have a better unique value proposition than these, then there's no way that they're going to be able to compete. Even though they're delivering the same results, they're buying the person, right? So you have to, one, make sure that your brand is good enough that people are buying you, and then also make that sure that the products that you're offering are actually something that people want. Now, I'm saying you have to make sure of this, make sure of that. I'm going to go into all that with offer. This is just the first thing that we want to make sure that you already fit in, all right? Make sure you're giving something that fits into trends that people are looking for. You can do this by going to Google Trends and look at what kind of questions are people asking when it comes to fitness? What kind of questions are people asking when it comes to life coaching? Things like that. But if you're offering, I don't know, My Little Pony coaching, I don't even know. If you're offering My Little Pony coaching, something that nobody's searching for, nobody wants, you could have the biggest brand, the best offers, the best services, and no one's going to care. Okay? So that's why trends are so important. When we say trends, we really just mean make sure you're something that people want. For most people, this is self-explanatory, but we have to include that. So now that you know you're delivering a service that people could want, you need to make sure that you get it to as many people as possible. And that's when it comes to client acquisition. All right. Okay. Second part, client acquisition infrastructure. All right. Or client acquisition. Now, when we talk about client acquisition, this is the process of getting strangers to buy your stuff, right? You could make hours and hours of content on this. In fact, Alex Hormozi already has. If you go to acquisition.com/trainings/leads or offers, you'll learn all about client acquisition, actually more on the lead side. This is where I learned a lot of the stuff that I know. I also learned the rest of it through conversations and through experience and through actually doing this and testing things, tweaking things, going back, retesting, basically the scientific method, as we'll talk about later. When it comes to client acquisition, it's not just one part, right? There's actually like 6 different parts that you need to implement in order to effectively acquire clients. A lot of people think that they can, send out emails to people requesting to work with them. People email them back, say yes, and then book a call and close. And that's it. When it's actually much more complicated than that. If you solely rely on just conversations in order to close people, you're not going to find much success when it comes to actually closing clients. So the first part of a client acquisition infrastructure, which I guess will be part A, is, I'm checking my notes here, valuable content, right? So having valuable content online and having some sort of credibility. That's the biggest deal. So part A would be value-based credibility. Okay. Value-based credibility. All right. Good example of this is my YouTube channel or my Instagram channel or my Instagram page. This video. This is me providing value to you, who is probably a prospect, right? And showing you that A, I know what I'm talking about, and B, I'm a real person. All right. That's the first thing. People will try outbound or any type of advertising and just have a page that's empty and just pictures of themselves. In fact, I actually have a video on my channel. If it's not already, it will be like next week. Going over fake accounts that people will just have a couple pictures of themselves, no value, and they expect people to respond. So they have the real part in there, but they don't have real plus value. So real plus value, that's the big deal here. If you'll check out my Instagram, you'll see lots of videos of me talking about business, videos like this. But then you'll also see photos and pictures of me and my stories and my story highlights and everything that I'm a real person. All right. And videos like this help that. So this is kind of making sure that you're a real person. This also helps with nurturing. All right. And we'll go into that later. But this helps you make sure that people come to your page that aren't quite interested in yet. They watch some of your stuff. They get to know you better, and then they go into the sales process. All right. Now, second part, which is B, is upfront value. All right, upfront value. Now, I know this sounds like the same thing. All right. What this is meant to do is separate your engaged leads from your not engaged leads. All right. You likely have an audience of whether it's people in your contacts, people in your email, people on your socials, YouTube, whatever, that are all somewhat interested in you as a person, but you don't know who's interested in you as a person and your services. You need to find those people. This is literally just trying to find those people. All right. So when we talk about free front-end value, usually this is set up with an opt-in. I'll mention that. Basically, you are offering value related to your services. All right. So if you're a fitness coach, then you offer, maybe it's free fitness apparel, or maybe it's free fitness coaching, or maybe it's, let's say, a one-on-one call with you, a discovery call. You can actually, there's a range of how in-depth your content can be. You can make what you're providing on the front end be super personalized, and things like personalized VSLs, things like limited free coaching, or you can make it kind of less effort where you're just doing like a discovery call and you say that's for free. I don't really recommend doing that. What I recommend is providing something that's either a VSL, which is a video sales letter, a YouTube video, helpful content, or if you want to get more and more and more involved, like the more involved, the higher value this is. This is kind of your lead magnet. You can provide your own services for free upfront. Lead magnet. All right. So this is kind of your lead magnet. Okay. This, like I said, separates engaged people from non-engaged people. And if you actually are watching this video, you might be someone that has opted in for one of my lead magnets, which is where I provide free services or give you a system for free, let you try it out, and then upsell you into higher ticket programs later. Anything like that, that's what a lead magnet is. So, if you're in that, I practice what I preach, and it works because most people, you either are already paying or will be paying in the future based on the value that I provided. So upfront value, opt-in, this is really your lead magnet. That's the big deal here. 3. So the third part, there's 6. So stay with me. Belief shifting, VSL, or a combo. This is kind of the belief shift period. So basically, this is credibility. This gives you your upfront value. This is differentiation, I guess. And then this is part of the sales process. Okay. So once you've gotten your credibility, you've given them something that allows you to differentiate engaged leads from non-engaged leads. Now we're kind of getting them into the sales process. So this is the point in this client acquisition process where you need to change their belief from, I don't think I can work with you, I don't think working with you would help, any of the reasons that they're not working with you. This is where you fix those reasons. And you do these either through, sorry, this stand is just going to have a nightmare. So you do these either through a VSL or a conversation. Okay. You can shift people's beliefs sometimes on a sales call, but it's better to do it beforehand so they're more educated buyers. So with a VSL, a video sales letter, again, you can make a video like this that shows them what you do, that tells them why they're going to succeed working with you, or you can do it straight through a conversation, ask them questions, nurture them manually. This process takes more building on the front end. This takes less. This is more scalable. This is less scalable. I don't know what I'm drawing right here, but I think you get the point. So yeah, that's C. D, it's like a mini masterclass. I have no idea how long this is going to be, so thanks for sticking with me. This is your appointment setting. Okay. Now, this is kind of optional because some coaches will work with people without an appointment. I know fitness coaches that just sell over the DMs and they don't close on a sales call. That works if you're bigger. If you have the credibility and you have the means to not have appointments, then by all means. But if you're selling something that someone isn't as sold in the DMs, or if it's higher priced, then chances are you're going to need an appointment to sell them on what you're actually doing. There's only so much you can do through videos and through DMs. So appointment setting, that's the next step. Now you can either do this with on your own or with a setter in the DMs. I recommend doing it on your own at first. And then once you really scale up and you have 25, 50 people DMing you a day, or you're across multiple accounts, or you're doing this through SMS or email, you can do this in different channels. Then set an appointment setter. They'll do things through email, text, DMs, whatever. And then they book appointments. After they book appointments, we have closing, right? That's the next. Yeah, that's closing. Close/sell. This one's easy. You need to close them on a call, basically sell them. You can do this either yourself or with a closer. As you scale, usually I will place a setter or a closer into my clients' companies, and then so they don't have to do that part. But when you're in the beginning, same thing here, just do that. And then the last step is channel selection. Okay, so in this whole process, you need to select what channel you're going to be operating through as you try to get people into your programs. So there's four main channels. So there's four main channels of advertising. You have warm one-to-one, warm one-to-many, cold one-to-one, and cold one-to-many. Anybody that hears me say those four things and recognizes that, they know I've read $100 million leads. That's kind of how Alex Hormozi lays out his process. So when you have warm one-to-one, that is warm outreach, all right? So let's say you have followers, you start DMing followers. Pretty easy. Or people follow you based on ads or new content, or maybe a post goes viral, and then you DM every single one of those followers, all right? That's warm one-to-one. Warm one-to-many is content posting. It's probably what you're doing right now, which is posting content to a large audience. It's you to lots of people, all right? Then cold one-to-one, that's going to be cold outreach. That can be either through calls, SMS, email, or DM. I've done cold outreach before, works great. It's starting to taper off in the industry. A lot of people are turning away from cold outreach, which I'm all for. I prefer to do things via ads and organically. So that's what cold one-to-one is. And then you have cold one-to-many, which is running ads. All of those things we would usually recommend, out of the four core ways of advertising, we'd recommend you pick only one. All right. So if you're going to do warm one-to-one, then we recommend take your warm audience, which is going to be the contacts on your phone, the people in your email, and the followers you have on Instagram and all social channels for that matter, and then message all of them. All right. You can hire somebody to even do this for you. You can hire a appointment setter to do this for you, wherever they are, and then you can nurture people that way. If you want to do content, then go all in on content. If you want to do DM outreach, go on DM outreach. Like, just pick one. As far as which one you pick, it's dependent on the business. I can't tell you which one I would recommend doing. Ads are pretty safe bet, but the thing that I would recommend is if you're just starting out, start warm and go down that list. All right, do warm one-to-one, do warm one-to-many, cold one-to-one, cold one-to-many. You'll learn things along that process, and you should acquire clients with each one, and then growingly, you should acquire more on a scalable level. So yeah, that's the entire client acquisition infrastructure that I use. So let me go over this one more time. The entire client acquisition infrastructure that I use within my business and all of my clients. All right. A, value-based credibility. We do this on your social pages. You need to have content posted that shows you're a real person and you're providing value to a group of people. B, you need to have an upfront opt-in or usually some kind of free value that people can opt in for, and then you can nurture them on the back end into getting on a call. All right. Now, before they get on the call, C, as a part of this opt-in process and the nurturing process, you will need to have a belief shift within their business. All right. You can do this either through a VSL or a conversation. This is also kind of the first step of sales. Then D, we have appointment setting. You can either hire a setter or do it yourself. You want to get people on the phone so you can actually sell them better rather than just selling through the DMs. E, you close and sell people. All right. That's the whole thing. And you do all of this through one channel. All right. Just do one. Don't do 4. Don't do 8, because there are more that we'll get into in the second part of this video. But just pick one, run this process, and you should be good to go. Now, when it comes to actually doing these things, having just heard all of that, if you pause the video right now and go to a notebook and you say, okay, what's the first thing that I need to do? It's kind of difficult, right? Because a lot of these are strategic, they are software-based or system-based, and this is a very high-level overview. If I told you the exact format and the exact strategy that I use for Instagram to do one-to-one, selling and one-to-one client acquisition, that's an entirely different video, and that would make this video 2.5, 3 hours long. So I'll point you to my email or my Instagram if you want to talk about which system you can actually implement. But if you're thinking about actual actionable value just off of this, without us even talking, follow this structure, all right? And then for the actual channel and the actual method of going about things, just do warm one-to-one, all right? Start with warm one-to-one, go to your followers, go to your list, start DMing people. You can come up with a message, just DM them, hey, just keep it simple, all right? And then sell your business, all right? Go through this process. If you get people to do all these different things, if you have credibility and you have value up front, if you give them an opt-in where they can actually see the value that you provide with a little bit of commitment by giving you their email or your phone number, then if you shift a belief within them so that they want to work with you, you set an appointment, you close, you're going to close clients, all right? That's the whole process. It can't get much more simple than that without me spoon feeding it to you. So 1, 2, there's one more part to this entire thing. That's going to be your offer. And we're going to do that right now. Let me erase my whiteboard and then we'll get on that. I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. If you want more in-depth trainings, then I would go to acquisition.com/trainings/offers. And you can learn all about probably the best digital marketing book on offers out there by Alex Hormozi. But I'll give you my high-level overview for when it comes to coaching specifically, and especially coaching via like social media. So if you want to have an offer that really promotes longevity and scalability within your business, you need to have a profit curve that looks something like this. All right, so this is what your profit curve should look like. All right. Now, if you look at that, it kind of looks like the stock market or something. Right now, if you check your Stripe account or your bank account, that's not what it would look like. All right. It would probably look like this. All right. There's a big difference between those two things. Now, let me tell you why. All right. Most coaches offer. Okay. Restart. Sorry. Most coaches offer a high ticket service that's usually not actually high ticket. It's usually just a couple $100s a month for their coaching directly because they're working with people one-on-one and they obviously can't sell it for less than $50, right? And every time they make a sale, this is what their account looks like, all right? This is sale 1, this is sale 2, this is sale 3, and that's sale 4. I'm going to stop trying to write on there. So as you sell people, your bank account may be going up, but there's no longevity here because once your clients pay you, chances are they're going to fall off within the next couple of months and they're not going to actually stay engaged. Versus this, all right, which is good, just to be clear, that's bad. This is kind of the same model where you have, taking this off real quick. So with this, you have sale 1, 2, and 3, but throughout these, your income is still going up, all right? Now, what's the only difference between these two businesses, all right, is their offer, all right? So what they're offering. This is a high ticket plus subscription model. And this is realistically a medium ticket model. So when I say high ticket plus subscription, saying you may be selling your coaching services and that's your high ticket product. Let's say you're selling your coaching services for $1,000. Every time you make a sale, your profits go up. After you make that sale though, that client usually will fall off. So you need to have something that retains them, not only in your bank account, but also with their attention. All right. That's where a subscription comes in. You need to have something that they're paying for on a monthly basis that can exponentially grow with all the clients you have. let's say you have 10 clients a month, all right? You gain 10 clients a month, all right? Usually as a coach, typically they'll fall off within 3 months, all right? They get the information because you're info marketing, right? You're really just providing a service like information most of the time, and people don't value accountability as much as they should today, even though I know there's a lot of value in it. Typically they'll stay for 3 months. And so if you gain 10 clients in January, you get another 10 in February, another 10 in March. By then you've lost the ones in January and they're no longer paying you at all. All right. Versus you have something where they pay you consistently for probably the rest of their life, hopefully the rest of their life, if it's something that's really valuable, or at least on a longer period of time. That increases your LTV. All right. That's the point. So let's say, for an example, a fitness coach, all right, because fitness is pretty easy for all of us to understand, has a main offer at $1,000. All right, that's our example. Fitness coach sells fitness coaching at $1,000 a month, let's say, or maybe it's $1,000 for a 3-month program. Then they're also going to have a sub offer that's $100 a month for supplements or for clothing or for a community or for resources or for video. I think you get the point. All right. There's lots of things you can provide over an amount of time that you need to be providing within your offer in order to have that sort of longevity. All right. So for example, for me, I provide, coaching, accountability, resources, building all these infrastructures. Everyone pays me one time upfront. And then we have a subscription model that's every month people are paying for the software that we use. So as our upfront sales die down, our monthlies retain, they basically retain our clients. And then those clients will keep watching all of our content. They'll stay more engaged and will ultimately get better results for them. So that's what it comes to when I'm talking about your offer. When it comes to actually what you're offering and how you package it, there's a lot of different ways that you can package your services and display them to people. Okay. Now I would recommend going to acquisition.com/training/offers. I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever, but it's great stuff. And you can kind of figure out the basis of your offer. But the thing that I primarily like to tell people is that you need to offer something that has some sort of guarantee. Usually that's pretty common. It has to be unique. All right. So people, you're not really getting stuck in the market. This is what comes with your UVP, as we were talking about earlier. And you have to make sure that it's actually valuable. All right. So you need to make sure that you actually have results that it can stand on. It can stand on your own credibility, and that there's a reason for people to actually work with you. So that's kind of my basics with offer. I can't go into everything because, obviously your offer is very personalized and you need to do that on probably a coaching call. All right. So if you need to figure that out, then let me know. We can work on that. But that's kind of the basics behind an offer. All right. Let's get into part 2. Okay. So we went over the first 3 parts when it comes to building and scaling a coaching business. I'm going to go over them again and summarize it to really hit this home. All right. So 1, let me move this closer. 1, offer something that people want. This is your UVP and following trends. Make sure that what you're giving is something that the market is actually interested in. Okay. 2, build a client acquisition infrastructure in order to acquire those people and meet those people that are interested in your product. 3, structure your offers for success by building a high ticket plus subscription model rather than just a medium ticket model. When I say high ticket, just to be clear, high ticket infrastructures or high ticket offers are anything that's usually over $1,000, but in the actual marketing world, high ticket gets more like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 plus. Okay. Now, usually you might be scared at telling people, hey, this is how much the program costs. But ultimately, if you follow all of the steps within the client acquisition infrastructure and you get them to commit to those low ticket things and slowly build up commitment, then you're going to have no problem selling people at that level. Now, the other reason that we like selling high ticket is because high ticket offers mean that people are going to get better results statistically. All right. The more people are invested into their own growth and their own business or their personal life, the more they're actually going to grow. So It's really just a way to ensure client success, is that everyone's paying high ticket, and usually that's $3,000 to $5,000 plus. Last part about offers. I do want to say that when it comes to your actual offer, you need to, there's all these different parts like your market, your guarantees, your actual, the value that we're providing. But if you can take anything away from building an offer, it's going to be this. Disregard that for now. This is called the value equation. Okay. Now the value equation is outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement. Everyone knows what I'm writing if you've been in digital marketing for any amount of time. And then we have time, X, effort, and okay. So what is the value equation? All right, the value equation is how we structure offers and how we know that our offers are valuable. We say that value equals dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement over time that takes to achieve said outcome times the effort and sacrifice. Okay, so ultimately, as we look at this, what we want to do is increase both of these and decrease both of these. So when it comes to the dream outcome, let's say it's what you're offering. So you want to tell somebody, hey, I'm going to get you your dream body. All right. That's kind of the highest end of the dream outcome versus I'm going to make you lose 5 pounds. All right. It's kind of what you're offering. All right. It's what you want to deliver to them. All right. I tell coaches, if I told coaches, hey, I'll get you another $10 client, I'll make you $10. They probably wouldn't be super interested regardless of the other 3. All right. If I tell them, hey, I'm going to make you another $100,000, then they're actually interested. So keep that in mind. Keep the dream outcome in mind whenever you're building an offer. Then we have perceived likelihood of achievement. All right. This is based on your credibility and the value that you've provided beforehand. How likely do they think they are to be the person that succeeds within your programs or within your teachings or whatever? The way you increase that is through branding, through content, through value, through personality. Things like this video increases my the perceived likelihood of achievement for anything I offer for people that I work with in the future. Okay. Time to achieve said result. This is changed really by the format of how you are delivering your results. So if you do done with you, which is whatever product you're doing, you do it alongside people and you input some effort, they input some other effort. That's kind of the middle range. Done for you decreases that time significantly. You tell people, hey, what I provide is going to be done within 2 weeks. All right. Then you can actually control the time it takes to receive said outcome versus like coaching, where you say, hey, I'm going to tell you how to do something and that's it. And then everything else is on them. It increases that time. So as a coach, you have a few different ways to decrease the time to set achievement as a coach. What I would recommend the most is including accountability and automations and systems in order to really expand your coaching offer rather than just make it, hey, I'll tell you what to do with the DMs. Versus saying, hey, I'm going to check in with you daily. We're going to have weekly group calls. You're going to have to post updates on social media, something like that. It holds them accountable. Not only does that decrease the time to achieve said outcome, it always also increases the perceived likelihood of achievement. And then effort and sacrifice, that's also done with you, done for you, done by you, or do it yourself. Those are the 3 different ones. That's what affects that. So if you tell someone, hey, you can get the dream outcome, it's guaranteed, it's not going to take much time, but you have to run 100 miles in order to get it, not super valuable, even though the other 3 are great. Another example would be, you're going to get the dream outcome, perceived likelihood of achievement is 100%. They're definitely going to do it, but it's going to take 10 years. A lot of people aren't going to offer that. So the perfect offer is, let's say for fitness, you'll get your dream body. There's a 100% chance that you'll get it. Like there's no chance you won't. There's no risk. It'll take 0 time. You click a button and it happens, and it doesn't take any effort because you're clicking a button. That's a perfect offer. People would pay thousands and thousands of dollars for that. So make your offer as close to that as possible. Obviously you can't do that, but those are kind of what we're working with. And as long as you follow that, you should have a pretty good offer. So take whatever you're offering, put it into that framework, and you'll see if it's good or not. So that's kind of my last little stick about offers and such. That should be enough to get you to, $10,000, $20,000 a month for sure. Part 2. All right. This thing stops moving. We aren't actually done yet. Okay. So we're going to be having another video that's going to release either same time as this or like next week, going over the second part of scaling a coaching business and actually building it into an empire. All right. All this is great for starting a business and getting to $20,000, $30,000 a month. But if you want to get to 100, 500, a million, like big numbers, all right, this is what's going to be important. Part 2 is going to be affiliates, teams and talent, reducing churn with consistent remarketing, and branding empire. Okay. Not going to go into that right now because it would make this video way too long. But if you're really looking to get from 10, 20 to more like $100,000 a month and beyond, then that's what that second video is going to be useful for. So thank you for watching this. I'll probably link in the description to the second video, and I'm looking forward to helping you scale your coaching empire.